This week in games, Escape From Tarkov devs want you to pay $250 for a game mode, Xbox is in its final days, and a Kingdom Hearts movie is on the way? This is the Two Penny Gamescast. What's poppin', players? Welcome back to the Two Penny Gamescast, episode 197. I'm your host, Tavin Bothel, here with my good friend and co-host. Say hello to the people, Connor, Elliott.
Greetings, guys. Greetings.
Hello, hello. Connor, how's your week been, friend?
You know, it hasn't been that great.
No? What happened?
It hasn't. It's just been tough because I had a bad opinion and I got roasted on the internet.
Oh, you got fucked up, bro. They fucked you up.
And it just, I was sitting over the weekend and every moment of peace I thought I had, was just invaded by the thoughts and the hurtful words that some of you said to me. Very hurtful.
It's not always fun being on the other side of the internet, is it?
Well,
maybe in the future I just won't tell you when that happens, because it's happened to me a couple of times, and every time I'm like, oh god, these motherfuckers are mean.
Oh, that's the great thing about the internet.
Yeah.
It's ruthless. Sometimes you're the subject of it, but at the same time, when the people who deserve to get shit on, it's fun.
No, I meant for scoot over to the right a little bit.
Oh, shit.
You moved over to the left again. There you go. Perfect. Right there. Right there.
Framing and whatnot.
Fantastic. Yeah, the framing. So if you don't know, Connor is, of course, referencing a TikTok that did fairly well on YouTube this last week, or a YouTube short, I should say, that did well on the channel this last week. Make sure you like and subscribe to follow for all of the new little clips and things that we put out on the TikToks, on the shorts. Links are in the description down below, and just our general social medias. We usually put the fun ones up on social media as well. I put a fun little gif of you going, I'm not being ridiculous.
I saw that.
But then the internet decided you're being ridiculous. You know. Yeah. Of course, we are talking about the Fallout short we put out. I believe "Why Did Fallout Change This" is the title of that short. And you were just saying a bunch of nonsense, and the internet humbled you quickly.
I didn't even watch the show. That's what happens when you talk off the mouth.
Yeah. You got to stop talking to your friends, Connor. Your friends got bad opinions.
I didn't even get it from them.
Where'd you get it from?
The internet.
The internet?
Yeah.
Yeah, you fucked up. That's even worse.
Yeah. It is worse.
Yeah.
It's far worse.
It's far worse. Yeah, you fucked up on that one. So, are you going to watch the Fallout show now?
You know what? That was the greatest motivator for me, too. I still might. I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, it's time, you know. I'm working 6 days a week, so I'm not really...
I mean, I'll tell you what. I'm watching this X-Men 97 show, man.
I would watch that before
this show's fucking awesome. This is a great show, let me tell you what. Ladies and gentlemen, this is, of course, the Two Penny Gamescast. Me and Connor come to you each week, Tuesday, 8 a.m. Central Time, youtube.com/@2pennygames, and mainstream podcast services of your choice. We each come to you with two topics, 2 pennies, if you will, and we give you our 2 cents on them. What are these topics about? Well, of course, it is about the new news you need to know concerning the video game industry. And let me tell you what. Let us know down in the comments how you feel about the happenings in the games industry. Maybe some topics that we failed to talk about or mention, because we would, of course, love a 2 pennies from the audience. So drop down in the comments below how you feel about the current state of industry, or different news stories that you want us to talk about, or just an evergreen topic. Maybe you just have a question. What's our favorite video game? What's our nostalgia game? What is our kick back and chill game? Whatever you want us to talk about, we'll talk about. Just lay it down in the comments below. But until then, Connor, let's get into the news, my friend. Let's jump over to topic number 1, our first topic of the day. My first penny of the day, fresh off the presses, Connor. Kingdom Hearts movie reportedly in the works. This is a Kotaku article by Kenneth Shepard that we're pulling from. Kingdom Hearts, Square Enix's Disney/Final Fantasy crossover, has been around so long, it's surprising we haven't gotten some kind of animated series or film before now. Excuse me. Things got close at one point about 20 years ago, and you can find a rough animatic of the pilot featuring the original game's voice talent, but according to the rumors, something on a much bigger scale might be in the works over at Disney, an animated theatrical film. The source of this is Disney-centric outlet The Diz Insider, site founder Skylar Schuler wrote about the Kingdom Hearts movie in a mailbag post, saying sources had told the site a film adaptation of the crossover RPGs could be heading to theaters in the future. The project started as something that would be released on the Disney Plus streaming service, but the Diz Insider says more recently it has heard the goal was to have something on the big screen. This lines up with another report from the film industry insider Daniel RPK, who claimed a Kingdom Hearts adaptation was in the works at Disney on April 26th. However, according to the Diz Insider, nothing has been greenlit, so this may still be another animated Kingdom Hearts project that goes nowhere.
Very possible.
Connor, Kingdom Hearts been around a long time, about 20 years. Actually more than 20 years, And I don't see why they shouldn't. I mean, you see the success of the Mario movie. You see the success of the Sonic franchise and so forth. It only makes sense that Disney takes the success they're seeing with the video games, puts it into their own stuff, gives them the best animation teams, gives them the best story writers, and says, hey, we're doing this, and you get free license with all of our other Disney IPs and so forth. Go for it. Take it. It makes perfect sense to me. I think this is a great idea, and I think it should. Now, it comes with a lot of baggage, of course, because Kingdom Hearts, clusterfuck of a franchise. Absolute shenanigans of storytelling happening over there. I think not to be, at risk of being too punny, Connor, I think you keep it simple and clean.
Punny?
The song Simple and Clean.
Is that in reference to something in Kingdom Hearts?
It's the intro fucking song to Kingdom Hearts. And you call yourself a fucking fan.
I don't call myself a fan. I call myself a player of the games who enjoys them.
You played one game. Oh, no, you played 2 games.
Well, 3, 4.
What?
I played Dream Drop Distance.
Why?
Because it was fun. It was fun. Cool movement. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then 358 by 2 days.
Why?
Because I like this.
Around?
Because the Kingdom Hearts 2 has the best part of it is narrative-wise is anything relating to Roxas, and it delves into that. It gives the backstory to it.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
But with this, I'm happy they're not making it live action.
Why would they do that? Why did that even cross your mind?
That's the thing, because I'm always afraid that when it comes to adaptations of video games, when it comes to adaptations of books, I'm always kind of I automatically in my mind jump to I want to see it animated rather than done in live action. And that's partly because a lot of these mediums have crazy stuff going on, Kingdom Hearts being one of them. And that when they try to depict that in real with using real life actors, it can come off not looking all that great or being harder to do. Nathan Drake, the Uncharted series, that obviously went live action. That made sense.
Okay.
Due to how
I was going to say you would rather things like Uncharted or Halo or Last of Us to be animated?
Yeah, well, Uncharted, certainly not. Last of Us, of course not. Halo, based off how that show mainly goes and looks, the
could be
TV
a cool
show,
anime.
What?
Could be a cool anime.
Exactly,
Halo.
and there is actually an anime film that animation-wise looks really good.
Yeah.
Halo Legends, I believe it's called. So, I'm happy they're going the right route because I feel like with these things, when you get a lot of the people who deal in film, they still see animation as kind of the more kiddie medium. And so they'd be more likely to say, well, we'll just want to make it live action. We can have the cool new stars. Look at Borderlands, for example. Everyone just talks about how terrible it looks, how the actors just don't, feel like they fit right with the characters.
That trailer looked fun. I don't know what you're talking about. Who
dumb.
are you following on Twitter? That trailer looked fun to me.
It looked like a fan film.
It looked like Borderlands, bro. What do you want from Borderlands?
But I think that would have also been one of those things that would have benefited better from an animation rather than especially with the art style. So, just that slight worry is undercut when it comes to the adaptations of these things. So I'm just happy the route they're going. I wonder if they're going to use the original voice actors. Obviously, with the Disney characters, they will.
Well,
they will use the.
I mean, they'll use whoever's
they can.
voicing them now. Yeah, but no, absolutely not. They're not grabbing those old voice actors.
Not even Sora. Sora seems to be definitive enough.
They changed Sora's voice actor in the second game.
Did they?
Yes, it's a different guy.
Huh.
Yeah. They don't have allegiance to these characters. I promise you. And for the same reason that they went with Chris Pratt and Mario. Like, I forget the name of the dude who voices him in 2. The guy from 2 on, I believe, is the same, but from 1 to 2, it's a different guy.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
I know it too. Phil would say it right away.
Taylor something?
No.
I don't know.
Charles Martinet. That's what it is.
Oh, Mario.
Oh, who are you talking about?
Sora.
Oh, Sora. Oh, Joel.
I promise you, it doesn't matter. I promise you, it doesn't matter.
He's an actual actor.
They're gonna grab a Tom Holland. They're gonna grab a someone of that ilk.
The moment you said Tom Holland, I'm like, yes, that'd be very much
Probably what they're gonna do, right? Yeah.
More childlike voice, not as masculine.
Yeah.
Tom Holland.
It's it's something that portrays 13 really well. We've seen Tom Holland in other animated films. He did fine in them, and it's that'll work. They're going to grab someone with a name, and it'll be name plus Mickey Mouse, and we're going to go on a globe-trotting adventure through the different Disneylands and so forth. I don't think you do the Final Fantasy stuff. I think you cut it. I don't think you need it. I think it'd be confusing for audiences. Maybe like a quick little reference, quick little cameo or something, but just like one or two. Not a lot.
Well, I mean, the stories of those Final Fantasy characters don't really seem to be an integral part to Kingdom Hearts, whereas the worlds...
I would argue they are irrelevant to Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, obviously with the Disney worlds and the characters, they're ripped straight from the iconic shows that Disney has made over the years. Final Fantasy, I feel like they can still just put them in there, and then most people will see them and go like, hey, that's, guy with sword, other guy with a sword.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't go beyond that.
At that point, like, what are we doing? Like, why?
Just have them in the show.
Maybe like one to just kind of be in there. But
yeah,
most people are there. Most people are there to see Mufasa. People are there to see Mickey Mouse. People are there to see.
I'm not saying they're going to be integral to it. I'm just saying they would be in it in a surface level way.
Yeah.
Which back to your bringing up of the writing and how Kingdom Hearts is notably pretty messy. A lot of that has to do with Nomura. And so if he's not writing for this, I feel like they're just going to dumb it down pretty substantially.
Big kiss. Yeah. Keep it simple, stupid.
And unfortunately or unfortunately, it depends how it all plays out. They'll really lean into the Disney aspect.
Oh, they should.
That's going to be, I know.
It doesn't make sense to lean into the Kingdom Hearts-esqueness of it. Sure, have the general theme still be of let your heart be your guiding key. That line should be dropped, or they should deliver that line is what I mean. They should definitely drop that line. But it should feed into general themes of just be a good person, carry joy and kindness in your heart and all these types of things. As Sora learns to be a better human or whatever, and then,
it's exposed to the world from being on an island.
Yeah. And then with that, what's the bad guy's name? Axiom, all of that,
Xehanort.
all of the fucking Xehanort. Yeah, Xehanort and the fucking whatever 13. What are they called?
Organization
13. We don't need any of that. Keep the cast small. Maybe you do Xehanort just as a big bad, but keep the cast small. Sora, Riku, and Kairi. Keep it to them. And then maybe Xehanort is your big bad. You have conflict between Sora and Riku, and then we just go and we get the girl, and then we princesses in another castle our way through all the Disneylands.
Yeah.
We hop into Mulan. We say hi to her. We hop into Lion King. We say what's up, Mufasa. We turn our characters into lions. All the kids will laugh. It writes itself, right?
Yeah, it does. The only other thing narrative-wise I'm interested in is, are they going to plan for this to be hey, we're going to keep doing more Kingdom Hearts films? Obviously, that depends on the success of it.
Yeah.
But in terms of writing, how would they do it? Would they try and mesh some of the more iconic parts of 1 and 2? 3 doesn't really have things that stick out to people that much. So are you
talking Kingdom Hearts plot shit?
Not really plot necessarily, more like set pieces. For example, in 2, you go to the I can't remember the name. The castle. The unknown castle, and that's the big. You're
talking the Battle of the Thousand Heartless or whatever.
Not even. Well, that too as well. It seems like that stuff. If they plan to just make one Kingdom Hearts film, they'd include that for wow factor, because that is impressive in the game.
Maybe, but I think. I mean, no. I think you just create your own new iconic stuff with the bones of the first game, and just you keep it just as plain and as simple as possible. And you just you double down on the gimmick of bouncing into Disney worlds, and then you double down on inserting charm into our main characters, and then you just have the buy-in that you already have of Donald Duck, Goofy, Mickey Mouse. Maybe not even Mickey Mouse. Maybe you save Mickey Mouse until the end. I don't think you should. I think you should put.
At that point,
I think Mickey Mouse should be the quest giver.
At that point, it's once again a matter of, are they doing just one, planning for one, or are they going to do more?
I think you just plan for one, just because that's already such a big task.
Yeah, it is.
As it is, it's just like, hey, let's just try and make one good one.
But at the same time, they won't be able to exhaust, or at least don't think they'd be able to exhaust every single Disney character / world, and that seems to be like a way they can get people hooked in.
I just don't know how you make a movie franchise out of this. Like I don't know, because that lore is so messy and stupid.
Writing wise, yeah.
Yeah, like it's a dumb story.
But
like I could see they could like, hey, let's make one real big animated film, and if it's a hit, then we go to the Disney Plus show. You know, and then we start doing the silly Kingdom Hearts stuff. And maybe start playing around with Final Fantasy characters in there, where there's less of a risk, but a film is a much more, like heavy investment,
I always forget about that app.
Yeah.
They got it.
Do you know the Knuckles show is out?
Yeah, and it made no splash.
No splash. Nobody cared.
Because from what I hear, it's not even primarily following Knuckles. It's
What?
a human character. That's what I've heard, yeah. And he's not even in the show that much.
What?
That's what I've heard, yeah.
That's
no, right? Dumb as shit.
It's called Knuckles.
Yeah.
Anyways, Connor, that's enough about Kingdom Hearts for right now. I think it's time that we move right along to our next topic of the day. Our second story of the day. Is it you?
It is me.
It's you. All right, your first, Penny. Take it away, my friend.
Oh, got an article from Games Radar here now from Hope Bellingham. Xbox sales are down 30%, but Microsoft's CEO is still boasting we had 7 games among the top 25 on the PlayStation Store. Microsoft's CEO says Xbox games are dominating the PlayStation Store charts, quote, more than any other publisher, end quote, but consoles sales are down 30%. On April 25th, Microsoft shared the third quarter of its 2024 fiscal financial results, and as highlighted by The Verge, the company's CEO was pleased to share an update on how Xbox games are performing on other platforms. Quote, finally, we're expanding our games to new platforms, bringing 4 of our fan favorites to Nintendo Switch and Sony PlayStation for the first time, end quote, said Satya Nadella. Rubbing just a little salt into Sony's wounds, Nadella adds, in fact, earlier this month, we had 7 games among the top 25 on PlayStation Store, more than any other publisher. Earlier this year, it was announced that 4 previous Xbox exclusive titles, Obsidian's Pentiment and Grounded, Tango Gameworks' Hi-Fi Rush, and Rare's Sea of Thieves would be heading to Nintendo Switch and PS5. Elsewhere in the financial results, Microsoft reveals hardware is down by 31% this quarter, and the company's CFO, Amy Hood, said the company's expects Xbox hardware revenue to decline again next quarter. Last year, as part of the Xbox FTC leak, a document revealed an Xbox Series X refresh, codenamed Brooklyn, is currently in the works at Microsoft that expected to release in later 2024. We're getting an Xbox showcase this summer, so it wouldn't be too surprising to see the new Xbox Series X console debut here. As of earlier this week, we're also expecting some Gears of War 6 news at the event after one of the series' actors said we'll likely find out more about his character's future this June. Weird situation to be in.
Yeah. A couple of different ways you could take this story, I think. First, let's start with the good news. Hey, congratulations to those teams, Obsidian, Tango Gameworks, etc., Rare, for finding success on other platforms. That's very exciting that their games are selling, reaching bigger audiences. Hopefully it means that, these studios won't have to face, if they have in the past already faced them, we don't have to face any more layoffs. And if they haven't already faced them, hopefully this keeps them from having to face them at all. That's a fingers crossed hope expectation. So. But on the other side, your console sales are down by 30%. This is in combination with last year, they fell 30%. So they are consistently falling and falling and falling and falling more and more, which is not a good sign for Xbox as a publisher, for Xbox as a console manufacturer, for them to be down. At this point in the generation, console sales should be down anyways, because you would have had your peak and then, everybody bought one who wanted one, and then, they fall off from there, which, makes sense. But Xbox falling as hard as it's falling, as consistently as it's falling, is a problem. And you have to sit here and wonder, well, you're putting all of your games on other platforms. Now, granted, you're picking and choosing individual titles, so not everything is coming over, but I mean, your big ones are, Hi-Fi Rush was your biggest game last year. Pentiment was Pentiment, Sea of Thieves and Grounded are games of service games, so they require bigger player bases, so it's important to expand that as much as possible. But now you're kind of scratching the bottom of the barrel here, so now it's only a matter of time before we start looking at Halo. We start looking at Forza. We start looking at Gears of War. And we start saying, all right, well, your console sales are down. And if console sales are down, that means software sales aren't going up, which means you need to start putting other games onto the platforms because you're seeing success here. At which point, when does Microsoft just become a third-party publisher?
Yeah, and that's the thing. They gave it a good try. They really did. And they were a competition for PlayStation for quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
But it's clearly down. At a certain point, you have to think of, well, am I just going to dedicate to this even more so?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like this is changing at all. The consoles you offer are so similar that you don't carve out your own niche. Nintendo has been able to do so. They always have a unique function to the game. Obviously, they're unique games that you can't get anywhere else. They've been able to lock those down. Mario, Legend of Zelda, makes it a lot easier to confirm people to buy your consoles. So those two things have allowed Nintendo to exist in the way it has. Microsoft, you either should kind of abandon the idea of continuously putting out new consoles or try to be a little bit more creative. Come with a new style of console. The handheld market is, even with the Switch, is kind of barren in a sense. People don't have the access to bring Switches everywhere as easily as they would something akin to the size of a Game Boy or a DS. And now, that's a market you could jump into. Or you can just really more dive into the fact that you make games. You've bought all these studios these past couple of years. You might as well see some return on that and not waste your time, shelling out new consoles.
It's a thing of like, at what point do we kill the hardware? Because at some point it just turns into digital streaming, cloud, all those things. At some point it turns into that. So maybe Microsoft doesn't put out an Xbox again, or maybe next round is Xbox's last round. Next generation is going to be their last generation. Maybe, or they put it out at a much smaller pace and say, hey, yeah, you can get other things here. They open the floodgates and they let things be things, and then they turn more into a storefront. Maybe it's akin to a Steam, akin to a GOG, is how we treat Xbox. Except Xbox can also reach over to the consoles, and be sort of a middle ground, play where you want to play games, because that's where Xbox cares. They want to be where the players are, and the players aren't with them. They're not. They're running third.
But now that they're on PlayStation, and the other part of the story we haven't really touched on, they're selling the most on the PlayStation Store.
They're having the most titles of any other publisher be up there, which is a good headline, but it's because you had a backlog of games that you were willing to release all in 1 month. That's why you have that stat, not because all 7 of those games are hella bangers. It's just because you had 7 games all come out in the same month, which is a good marketing thing because everybody went and bought them. Everybody said, oh, I didn't have a chance to buy this game, so I'll buy it now, and this game, and that game. And none of these games are super expensive. They're not, I don't think any of them are full price, except maybe Sea of Thieves.
No, it's not.
And then, they each kind of played a different fan bases. So, like, everybody is going to go buy those games. They may buy multiple of those games because they're all cheap, and they go, well, I could buy Rise of the Ronin, I could buy Stellar Blade, but, those games aren't performing super well, but everybody loved Hi-Fi Rush, so let me jump into that. And you know what? I've always wanted to play Sea of Thieves, so let me jump into that too. So I buy 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah.
A good chess move, a good tactic, It worked in the sense of selling hardware and generating revenue. So now I ask you, Xbox, you dump a lot of money into these consoles for what? Because now you're putting your games out on third-party services, and, you still get, the earliest access of the first year or 2 or however many you want, and you're selecting which games are going over there. And again, I still say this is marketing, Somebody picked up that Hi-Fi Rush game, played it, and went, you know what, maybe I want an Xbox, because you're telling me there's more experiences like this over there? Well, maybe I'll go over there, That is going to be the case for somebody, But how many?
Yeah.
And it looks like we're having a console refresh, a mid-gen update again this holiday season. Seems to be the case.
See, and
at a point, there was a point last year where I thought about when Starfield launched and didn't fucking work on my PC. I sat there and I was like, maybe I just buy an Xbox. and then those leaks happened, turned me off to the idea of buying an Xbox. I said, I'll wait a year. And then the floodgates got released, and now Hi-Fi Rush is on a PlayStation. So now it's like, well, do I really want to buy, and I also upgraded my PC hardware. Do I really want to buy a game or a new console and have, this other thing to worry about and have to justify this $400, $500 purchase by buying games to it? Or do I play them on Game Pass on my PC because now I've upgraded my PC? Or do I just wait a year and it'll probably come to my PlayStation where I like to play games anyway?
Yeah.
And maybe I went from last year being somebody who was like, maybe I'll buy an Xbox, to being somebody who goes, I don't see the point anymore.
Yeah.
You've shot yourself in the foot.
And it's been this way since the days of the Xbox 360. Maybe the Xbox when it was coming out alongside or similar to the time PlayStation 2 would have been coming out. PlayStation 1, I don't know.
Xbox launched well into the PS2 life cycle.
Okay, yeah. See, and that's kind of my next point, is because we always get the new, the cycle of news of what are these two guys going to do with their new console. You're already kind of shooting yourself in the foot by competing with the guy is doing better than you consistently. Maybe if you are going to continue to do a console, don't feed into the wave of consoles that come out at the same time when it comes to PlayStation and Xbox. Maybe hold it back a little bit, let them sell through, and then you come with your hardware, maybe with some extra features that you've been able to have a little bit more time to work on.
I think the Switch was really smart in that way.
Yeah.
The Wii U was a flop. One of the biggest gaming flops of all time, right? And so Nintendo hit the reset button early. And I think that offset them. So now they are in the mid-gen refreshes when they do their full generation refresh. We are already in foaming at the mouth for a new Switch. We want a new Switch. We don't want a new PlayStation 5 yet. We don't want a new Xbox yet. We don't see the point. Maybe Xbox needs to do something similar. Maybe they need to offset their release cycle from the PlayStation release cycle. Maybe. But they're playing in this field. Nintendo also has the benefit of being the not focused on the technology, not focused on the big buffs of 60, 120 FPS, no 4K resolution. Nintendo's never cared about that type of stuff. They want you to be able to have a Nintendo experience on a Nintendo console, whatever that means for whatever generation you're in. Today, it means being able to play it on your big TV and in your handheld mode. That's what that Nintendo means today, and their fun games, et cetera, et cetera. But Xbox does play in that world of fidelity. They do play in that realm. So now, how do you offset your cycle to that and not compete? And because competition drives sales, and not compete with PlayStation, who does it bigger and better.
Well, to that end, you mentioned just earlier in this part of the episode, Hi-Fi Rush, one of the biggest games. It wasn't one of those, demanding games technologically.
No.
It's a callback to the days of like PS3 at the latest. PS2. Yeah, but like graphic wise, more like PS3.
Yeah, that sells shaded animation, sure, yeah, but I mean that is an example of a great PS2 game.
Yes, that's a better gameplay wise one to compare it to.
Yeah,
maybe you start making games like that. I mean, once again, you acquired all these studios, put them to work, and making a game that's not that doesn't have the biggest, newest features, but are just super solid games. You have the talent, put them to work.
Bringing the fun back into it. PlayStation's so serious. They're so serious.
They're
all
very
the time
serious
with their God of Wars and their Last of Us. Even Spider-Man gets so serious.
They work, but
yeah,
they make it work.
Right.
Xbox does not.
But we're missing that cartoon platformer mascot. We're missing the mascots. The mascots are gone. And I think, what's his name from Hi-Fi Rush? Chai?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Chai is a great mascot that we could have.
He is, yeah.
And then you look around at things like Avowed. Avowed looks goofy and fun. That sounds awesome. Senua, we're in that dark and serious thing again. But I think if Xbox finds a middle ground where they're like, hey, we can appeal to children, but we can also appeal to big guys. Grounded? It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Come on. That's fun. That's awesome. Sea of Thieves? Come on. That's awesome. Microsoft. Do you realize how many IP you own right now? You've got fucking Crash Bandicoot. You've got Spyro. I guess they just released Crash Bandicoot back to whatever. But you've got Spyro. You've got Banjo-Kazooie. Use them. What are you doing? PlayStation has their characters, and all they're using is Ratchet. It's all they're using. And I think it's because Insomniac wants to keep using Ratchet, I think PlayStation will take Spider-Man games till the fucking cows come home. You know what I mean? But like having a bit of a cartoony, fun vibe, I think that might be the direction for Xbox to go. For so long, they were the serious military shooter guy. You know, for so long, they were the Halos, the Call of Duties, the Gears of War. That time has passed. Nobody really cares about that anymore.
Look at Helldivers. It has that goofy element while still being a shooter.
The satire of Helldivers is what has taken that game to the next level and made it a hit. If it was just another gritty, serious PvE military shooter, nobody would care about it. But it's the fact that you've got Yuri Lowenthal yelling, "For democracy!" Like, that's why that game works, right? You know, it makes us laugh. It makes us, we're in on the joke. We need more of that. I think Hi-Fi Rush gave us a glimpse of that, and maybe they should lean into it.
It's just our 2 cents.
It's just our 2 cents. Your Senua sacrifice, cool. I don't think it's going to work,
We'll enjoy it. Actually, I downloaded the first one. I'll be playing that probably after Severed. I was going to start it yesterday, but I was like,
You going to take over that review?
Of what?
Of the new Senua?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh, great. Yeah. Great. Because I thought it was going to be me, and I'll be honest, I don't really want to.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Short game, if I can do it. Most of the time when I do reviews, I don't even finish the game.
There you go.
So, hey.
I try my hardest,
Yeah.
I try real hard. Anyways, moving on, Connor, to our third topic of the day. My second penny, right? Yeah. My second penny of the day. Indie developers are selling a 300-plus game bundle for $8 for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. This is a VGC article from Chris Scullion. Indie developers have contributed to a large bundle of games to raise money for Palestine relief. The Palestine Relief Bundle costs $8 and contains 300... Oh my goodness, that's a lot of fucking games. And contains 373 items. Fuck me.
Oh, damn. Oh, that wasn't a sneeze.
Oh, Lord. Let me take it from the jump again. The Palestine Relief Bundle costs $8 and contains 373 items at a total value of around $1,650, all of which are DRM-free. All proceeds will go to the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. Highlights in the bundle include a short hike, Wonder Song, Coffee Talk, and Fist Ultra Edition. Remember Fist?
No.
It's a little bunny, big arm. Is the 2D action platformer game. Yeah, I almost played that game. And then I was busy at the time, so I didn't do it. Oh, that's the end of the story.
Yeah. It's more the substance of it that's impactful because, you usually don't think of video game companies assisting humanitarian efforts across the globe, but...
Well, it makes sense for the indie devs to be doing it because, they're the little guy and whatever side of the fence you fall on in terms of the actual Israeli-Palestine conflict, I mean, there's... Never mind.
It's not real. Well, I've been following this pretty religiously.
Yeah.
Regardless of how you might think of whose side is committing what atrocities and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's mainly Israel, as we've seen from their relentless bombing of civilian areas. And
it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah. Most recently, the situation was them killing 22 civilians, 18 of them being children, in a refugee camp, which they said they weren't going to attack. Joe Biden himself said that was a red line. Shortly after that, they delivered a package of $14.1 billion to Israel in funding. So... we're supporting one side. If you have any, if you don't really know who is the right,
we as the country of America, the nation of America, not we as the individuals, Connor and Tavin.
No. Approval ratings show
but,
who's on what side.
Yeah. Regardless, also the fucking fascism being shown on American campuses as students exercise their right to free speech and then get arrested and expelled for it. Fucking ridiculous. Anyways, regardless of which side, children are dying. Mm-hmm. And I don't think anybody wants that to happen. I think you're cruel and unusual and a menace if you think you do. I mean, these kids didn't ask for this. They just happen to be born on that part of the world. So, it's not their fault that, 100, 200, 300 year conflict has been happening. And so, the effort in order to save lives or keep children healthy as they, struggle to find food, struggle to find clean water, struggle to find clothes, all these things. It's nice to see that. Where's this bundle at? I'm going to buy this.
Why not, right?
Yeah, right? I mean, it's $8.
It's no skin off my back or anybody's back, really. And you get something in return for it in value. I'd recommend anybody to go and buy
it here. Okay, so there is a link on the Games Bundle for Palestine Twitter page. The @ is VG for Palestine. Video Games for Palestine. VG for Palestine. And then they've got a link there for that. So everybody, if you want to support that, go support that. $8, not really any skin off my back. I'm gonna do it as soon as we're done with this show here.
Yeah, no reason not.
So, anyways, good cause, I think. Go support it. Moving on to our final topic of the day, something you should not support at all. Connor, your final penny of the day. Go ahead and take it away, my friend.
We have an article here from Games Radar by Austin Wood. In a rare extreme for monetization, Escape from Tarkov dev doubles down on locking new PvE mode behind $250 edition as players chant, quote, "This cannot be tolerated." Iconic extraction shooter Escape from Tarkov is taking a beating from players after rolling out a $250 Unheard edition, which includes, among several features criticized as pay-to-win, exclusive access to a new PvE co-op mode. The official pre-order page spells out what this pricey edition gets you: an enhanced stash, expanded PMC pockets, more slots on the in-game flea market, and a unique melee weapon, amid several other bonuses. The community has pounced on one bullet point in particular. Quote, "Access to PvE co-op mode with persistent progression. Progression will not be reset with wipes. This is a substantial shift from the game's normal lose-it-all PvP formula, and therefore something a lot of players are interested in. At the time of writing, this $250 edition is the only version of the game that mentions this mode at all. Others, down to the $50 edition, provide guaranteed instant access to closed beta, but there's no trace of the new game mode itself. Much of the outrage stems from the fact that the owners of a previous editions of Escape from Tarkov, most notably the recently delisted Edge of Darkness edition, which bundled in a load of prior content and DLC like access to the Tarkov arena, seemingly won't get things like this PvE mode without an upgrade or new purchase. This has led to some heated and confused debate over what's classified as DLC and what's intentionally sold a la carte." There was an update to this story. Escape from Tarkov developer Battlestate Games has responded to the backlash around the new PvE mode tied to the game's $250 Unheard edition. And it ain't good news.
No, fuck.
Yeah. Like a blackjack player feeling lucky, Battlestate has gone for the double down. Quote, "PvE mode is a unique feature which is available only for the owners of the Unheard edition," the dev tweeted. "We will keep you updated on new features exclusive for EOD, Edge of Darkness owners." So basically, fuck you.
Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ.
Which, for a game which has had so much player support, is one of the worst things.
This is a choice.
Yeah,
this
right.
is a choice.
And frankly, I hope it blows up in their face. I hope they lose money from this, because you can't do something, or you shouldn't be able to do something that screws over your player base and just have no repercussions whatsoever. Yeah, and $250?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It would pay that much.
Somebody.
I know.
Somebody is going to, And how many do they need to buy it? 100 people? And then they, that's $1,000 for how much work, It's a nice chunk of change, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. That's not right. 100 people. Did I say 100 people? That'd be $2,500.
See? Even more impressive.
Yeah, so for how much work was it, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, this is gross. This is gross in a way that you don't see very often anymore. Like, I can't remember the last time we saw grossness to this level of just extracting as much money as we can out of this product and making it worse for players. Hey, don't buy this. Go buy the $8 game pack for 370 fucking games. That's an awesome deal.
Buy
This
it
deal
enough
sucks.
times. Buy it how many times? Is that even? Does it make it even?
No, it won't.
Buy it like 30 times.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Damn.
As opposed to that. Yeah, right?
For way more value. Way more value.
It's like one group are not greedy
Yeah.
and bad,
Yeah.
and the other is.
Honestly, they should charge more for that 300 bundle of games. That's a lot of fucking games.
know, that's
This
a
is
lot.
like $1,000 worth of content in there. They were saying, what was it, 1,600?
Yeah.
So versus this 250 for a game mode. And the ability to keep your equipment past wipes, you would assume that's only in the game mode, right? That's not in the PvP mode.
And no, it's not.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
still the
yeah,
same.
yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be the type of game it is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but yeah, that sucks. That's stupid. And it sucks because I've heard such great things about Escape from Tarkov. It's a total thing that I have a complete blind spot for because I just have not been paying attention to it at all. But, of course I've heard of it and I've heard, that it's a lot of fun and it is a great success and all this, which is exciting. And for them to just shoot themselves in the foot like this is shocking.
Yeah.
And then you sit there and look at Helldivers 2 and go, damn, like these are the guys who are supposed to do that. PlayStation is supposed to do things like that, not these guys.
No.
So shocking that they're willing to go to these lengths. Hey, buy that $8 game bundle for $370 something. Get a bunch of pretty good games, and then go buy Helldivers 2 and have a better time.
Yeah, with people who actually care about the community.
Exactly, 100%.
Short.
Well, I mean that's the gas, right? I mean, so we can talk about nothing, man. We'll just wrap it up. Fuck.
We're not going to fill you with bullshit, we know.
I mean, we could, but I just don't have anything to fill. We should have garnered more space in the beginning. Maybe talked about Kingdom Hearts a little bit more. But it is what it is. Sometimes
We talked about that the most.
I can't believe you fought me so hard on that Nathan Drake versus Master Chief thing. Of course, you have to go and watch the Piggy Bank, next week's Piggy Bank, which will go live at Saturday, 8 a.m. Central Time. YouTube.com/@2pennygames and mainstream podcast services of your choice. I can't believe you fought me so hard on that.
Let's have another fight. You ready for that?
Okay, what do you got?
Because I was going to put this on the minigame that we did, where we are ranking video game characters. There will be, you'll have to see who's being ranked and where we're ranking them, even though we kind of got a little spoiler. Pay attention to that episode when it comes out this Saturday, and the subsequent poll, where you can decide who do you think's the better character. What does it mean to be the better character? Argue amongst yourselves. But we can have a little conversation because I remember what we fought about the most when we first began to know each other. Back in intermediate school, that's what they call it now? Yeah. Do you remember? I remember.
You're going to bring this back?
You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Yeah. This doesn't even need to be a full conversation, actually. So I'll just stunt on you. It was a debate over who would win in a fight. This guy right here, Solid Snake, or Master Chief. I, of course, was on Master Chief, the Metal Gear guy.
Was that what it was? I thought it was which game was more realistic.
No way, no. It was, that was
in which
probably,
case, I mean, neither are realistic,
no,
but I mean,
that was certainly a conversation that would have been brought up at one point.
Yeah.
But it was core who would win in a fight. We were kids. We didn't care about what the better game is.
Yeah.
We didn't give a shit.
I mean, I'm not going to fight you on this, Connor. Like, Master Chief wins. Like,
Okay. All right, yeah.
Unless Snake gets the drop on him, which is possible.
Yeah.
But I don't think Snake has the arsenal to deal with shields, That's going to be a problem.
Yeah, me bringing that up, I was going to argue, of course, like prepared. We're going to fight who's going to win, but then it was like, yeah.
I mean, what kind of fight is it?
Yeah, right.
Like if we set the stage of like we're in the fucking jungle, Chief is got a SMG, and then Snake has a sniper rifle or something, and
we know how that's going to play out.
I don't know. There's a chance for Snake to get lucky here, but as soon as it becomes just a blast off, Chief wins.
Which leads into what I was going to make the conversation about.
No, I don't know. Snake does take down tanks and helicopters single-handedly,
So does Chief. Alien ones.
Yeah, but if Chief is a equivalent to a tank, you know what I'm saying?
It's possible.
It's possible.
He fought Vamp. I was thinking about Vamp.
I mean,
Generative.
a bunch. Fought Vamp a bunch,
Yeah.
So it's possible.
But I mean, other than that, this is also going to fall, the argument's not going to be existent. Who's the better character?
Solid Snake.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
See, when you were talking about iconicism of Master Chief compared to another character, and how there's...
I mean, I would still say Master Chief is more iconic than Solid Snake, but Solid Snake is a better character.
I think they're on like the same level of iconicism at this point. Iconism.
That's hard. I mean, it gets weird because Metal Gear...
Not back then.
Went left, Not back then, yeah, but like... Metal Gear went left, and there's a myriad of main Metal Gear Solid characters. It's Snake, it's Raiden, it's Big Boss. It's a number of them. It all gets kind of like boiled down to Snake. Big Boss's first game being called Snake. I think he's called Snake in Peace Walker as well. So yeah, it just kind of all turns into Snake, even though Snake could mean multiple characters. But I mean, I would say no. I would say because Xbox made Master Chief their face.
Yeah.
You know, and that never happened to Snake. Snake outlives PlayStation.
That's
you know,
true.
he's the mostly associated with PlayStation because Metal Gear Solid, the first one, and then MGS3 was PlayStation exclusive for a long time. But you know, MGS2 was on Xbox. The original Metal Gear games are on MSX computers or whatever the fuck those things were called, the NES, and then you know by the time we get around to also PlayStation 4 with PS3 with Metal Gear Solid 4 was exclusive, still exclusive.
Yeah.
Peace Walker for a long time was only on a PlayStation console. I guess you could put him there, but I would never put Snake as the face of PlayStation or even in the conversation of it.
But I think as time has gone on, he's just gained more and more relevance. Like people take notice of him, especially being tied to Kojima, who is a consistently talked about guy in the gaming sphere. That it's kind of hard to even think about him without.
But in some ways, I would argue Kojima is the face of Metal Gear more than Snake is.
That's
in
true.
some ways, not like if you're just talking about story and characters and narrative, whatever. Yeah, sure, Snake, but like Kojima put so much of himself in those games, to where it's just like, all right, dude, we get it.
Like a director making a film.
He's quite preachy, and it's like, all right, we get it, bro, we get it. You're
against nuclear weapons.
You're the Tarantino of video games. I got it. All right, So I don't know. Quality of character, yeah, I'd probably still go Snake just because there's emotional moments and things that happen in those games that a lot you don't even know about.
Yeah.
They go there.
Four, I'm guessing in particular.
Oh, a lot in four. A lot in four.
He's dying.
He does. He's dying. He is. Yeah, he's coughing a lot. A lot of coughing. God, those cutscenes are so long. Can't wait for you to get there. I don't know. Yeah, I'd put Chief as more iconic than Solid Snake, but like Snake is just a better character. I'd put Snake and Nathan Drake on the same level as icons.
I think Solid Snake just has been more relevant as time has gone on.
In what way? It's been even longer since he's had a game.
Yeah,
he's the main character in his franchise. He's the main character in less games than other characters.
I'll bring up the conversation again of staying power. I think, he has staying power. Solid Snake does. Like he's a guy who is still able. People look at because he has the writing of the other character we were arguing for. Stay tuned, and the badassery of Chief, and they complement one another. It's the best of both worlds.
Yes, I suppose. Yeah, more staying power. Yeah, he's in the conversation more. He's in the conversation of like greatest characters ever, way more than Drake is. So I guess that makes sense. Sure. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just like Chief is just a fucking hulking suit of armor that says a cool one-liner every so often, and I'm like, that's just not enough.
I mean, you have a guy who's one of the most famous actors, Arnold Schwarzenegger, who built his career off one-liners and being that kind of character. It works.
Yeah, but like that at least has a face.
Because it's an actual human being.
Yeah. That's a face and a personality, and then like you can become a fan of that person. Like you're not a fan of the character Schwarzenegger plays. You're a Schwarzenegger fan.
Yeah.
You're a Stallone fan. These types of things. But
at that point, when you get to that kind of like symbol of,
again, to my same point, but on a much shorter life cycle, like. The kids don't care. How much do you and I really care about Schwarzenegger? It's cool, but it's like a thing for our dads, right? Like that's dad's action hero.
I mean, I can't think that way because when I was a kid, I would just watch.
I watched a lot of Terminator.
And they're just like, you're just like, wow, it's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And you grow up and you're like, wow, this is so fucking cool. It just once you.
See, and I watch it now, and I go, man, there's fucking women have rights too, bro. Whoa, what the fuck?
But that's not what we focus on with those movies. They're made for men.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, because Snake trounces Drake in the conversation as well. I don't know. That's tricky. Because we've got both characters here. This will be an interesting conversation here. We got both characters right here. Connor. I, of course, have my brand new, the third amiibo that I've purchased for those keeping track at home. Cloud Strife. I have him here. So Snake and Cloud Where does this conversation go, Connor? It gets tricky,
You know what?
I think.
Save that.
You're right.
Save
Ladies
it.
and gentlemen, this has been your latest episode of the Two Penny Gamescast, episode 197? 7.
Yep.
Thank you so much for watching and listening, and make sure you subscribe, like, and drop a comment down below. Until next time, have a great time, and Connor, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye.